Now for today's main report, Report 91. The Christmas challenge has now been Boo Rope. The main battlefield is toys, but this year, both half of the world's toy stores have landed in Japan, and they are about to open the first store in Ibaraki Prefecture, and various ripples are spreading. Director Maeda of the Nagoya Broadcasting Station interviewed what happened in Nagoya, especially in the world of video games, which are the main product.
The toy department is especially busy with Christmas challenges. This challenge alone accounts for over a third of our yearly sales. The video game corner is especially popular. Video games are poised to make up nearly half of the 1 yen trillion toy market.
To meet this challenge, major video game makers have embarked on a reorganization of their retail stores.
This new software released by the largest video game maker at the end of last month has been very popular before. It was the trump card of the manufacturer's distribution route reorganization to increase the number of franchise points. It is a video game shop in Nagoya City on the day of release. That new software was no longer in the store.
The store was able to line up only 16 bottles on the first day of sales.
On the other hand, this is a franchise point contracted with a manufacturer. Only 300 meters away from a shop of this degree.
That popular software is still lined up in this store.
It's common knowledge that video game software is sold at a bargain price, but this software is the only one that keeps the low price of 8,000 yen.
How many copies of this software do you have? Right now there are about 500. How many more do you have? I didn't tell you much about numbers. I will still buy it.
500 bottles in just 2 hours, sales of 4 million yen. This is the application guideline for the franchise points distributed by the manufacturer at the same time as the release of the new software. Manufacturers preferentially supplied new software to stores that had become franchises. Behind the hurried franchising of the manufacturer is the Japanese bedroom of both half stores in the United States. According to industry insiders, these two half stores have the power to take the initiative in the planning and pricing of game software, using bargain sales as a weapon.
Manufacturers feared it.
In order to obtain the popular software of this maker, applications for franchise masks flooded in. When it comes to franchise points, instead of preferentially supplying software, we have to set up a dedicated corner for this manufacturer. What's more, all showcases must be purchased from the manufacturer and refurbished according to the determined layout. At least 5 pots wide. Stores that cannot take the site or stores that are masked by other franchises cannot participate in this manufacturer's participation. This major supermarket in Takamaru, Nagoya has also decided to join. I chose the cheapest pattern set by the manufacturer, but it was still 2.8 million yen. This cost was taken out by the supermarket.
What do you think about it in terms of feeling?
Well, it's expensive, isn't it?
Has this kind of shop been hit since the software supply was not smooth?
Well, if you do the above every time, you won't do it. After all, as long as I participate in that area, I will still seek the benefits that have disappeared.
Do you think this will increase sales significantly?
The numbers are difficult there. Well, at least 20% up.
If you go about 20% or 30%, you can achieve localization.
However, many video game shops where children gather are small, and it is not uncommon for shops like this one to have less than 5 pots.
Places like our store have been excluded from the beginning.
So it's a situation where you can't even apply. Stores are large and you can join more and more in places with capital strength, but I think that small places and places without capital power will have to be forced into various positions. I asked the manufacturer whether they would absolutely not be able to enter the franchise unless they met the conditions, such as the size of the 5 pots, the purchase of the showcases, and the forwarding expenses. While providing 100% of it, even if it's requested by Tanaka, it's a little realistic impossible.
So even if you can laugh at this, unfortunately it can't be helped. Where you can't do it physically.
It's physically impossible, but even if you try to know about the product, it's hard to get into. That's already important.
Even now, there are shops here that don't exist here. However, as a trend, we think that the entertainment industry has the company's products, so we want to give priority to supplying them as much as possible.
A toy store that is not a member of the franchise has come to this store to buy popular software. Since its launch, such scenes have been seen at franchise stores here and there. For retailers, arranging popular software leads to sales of other products, so they can't change their backs.
As a result, the new movement began to emerge in an effort to break out of this painful situation.
It is the headquarters of another toy store group with more than 70 member stores nationwide. This group was formed by a collection of retail stores centered on pork stores. Currently, we are aiming for 500 chain stores nationwide. However, this group of stores could not join the video game makers franchise. This is because video game makers that have already owned other franchise stores are not eligible for recruitment. This group has increased sales by carefully setting selling prices based on the sales data of stores nationwide. However, this group also has to give up on ensuring that popular software from video game makers is available in the future. Therefore, this group turned to the second largest manufacturer in the video game industry as an expensive strategy.
We put the product on the market intensively for a month, and based on the sales data, we went to the manufacturer to ask for their cooperation.
The group proposed to create a corner for this manufacturer to display products that are easy to purchase and to set prices that are affordable.
を見せて陳列するということによって、そのお客さんに対するその視覚的効果をね、かなり得られてると思うんですよ。この10月の28日から始まる週の、金曜日ですか、で始めまして、でそれまではね、もう本当に店舗はないんですよね。ここで実質はその1日にチラシを巻きまして、でここで。
The group guided the sales manager of the manufacturer to the site and strongly requested their cooperation.
こういった感じのそのフック使うことによってそのね、売り上げ上がりまして、メガドライブに関してはもう本当力入れてね、
選択しやすい、また求めやすいという形ですよね。いいよなこれね。
You seem to have opened a lot of franchise shops, but don't you feel threatened by that kind of thing?
I feel like I don't feel that much. On the other hand, the current reality is that the number of stores that didn't have the system, including the emotional theory, is increasing.
Therefore, to put it in a bad way, there are rumors that there may be benefits for professional women.
2 weeks have passed since the release of that game software that sold like hotcakes at the low price of 8,000 yen.
The franchise store received 100 game software for the third allocation. However, there are still 130 of the full batch left in the store. It is a form that the long-awaited franchise contract backfired. Similarly, another franchise store that had surplus software secretly distributed new software to acquaintances' stores or put it on sale at a bargain price. It seems that the video game maker's franchise strategy, which aims to maintain the distribution route and maintain the selling price, did not go as originally planned.
As the last comment just said, it didn't go as originally planned.
In the end, the franchise strategy of this manufacturer caused the repayment of new software. Franchise stores have a lot of products. No other store has it. It means that the franchise store where manufacturers have gathered has leftover items and has collapsed. From that point of view, the strategy of this manufacturer did not go very well.
Now, let's look at the example of America's double inversion. What is the evaluation as a countermeasure against this?
In this case, there is an aspect that the franchise strategy is rather a weapon, because in order to handle this manufacturer's products in Japan, it must be sold. I succeeded in making people think that it was not possible, and eventually this reversal would develop as a manufacturer's franchise store. It seems that it is being deployed in Japan. From that point of view, it can be said that this manufacturer's strategy was successful.
It's full of life, isn't it?
I agree.
So what happened to consumers, then what happened to children?
The most important thing for us is the price. The reason is that the manufacturer has adjusted the shipment and has come out to control the product lineup and price, and that aspect is also easy to do. In the end, according to what I've seen, there were expectations that the US reversal would come, and that there would be a file war in Japan, but the price remained high. Prices are being manipulated on the side of the company away from the consumer towards the company. I wonder if the right to decide the price remains in the company's hands.
I see.
Thank you very much. Maeda was the director.
ディレクターでした。